the Middle East, is speaking out. He says authorities are investigating the case against one suspect, looking for anybody else.
I believe there are many investigations, not only in Italy, in England, and Interpol is probably coordinating everything. There will be a trial in Italy, but what they want to do now is catch any accomplice.
The woman says she was held for 6 days while her captors tried to sell her on the dark web to those Middle Eastern buyers. She was eventually released, and her attorney is rejecting suggestions that his client was an accomplice.
Gourmet Cheetos now on the menu at a restaurant in New York. In fact, everything is a spotted Cheeto made with the orange snacks. Prices range from $8 to $22 if you'd like to get some Cheetos crusted fried pickles or Cheetos Sweetos crusted cheesecake. You can get that for like 3 days as part of New York Restaurant Week. Baldwin Park right now. Westbound 10 to Fraser Street. Got a 3-car crash causing some problems. We'll check your traffic coming up in 1 minute.
Some good news about Clayton's back. Here's Randy Cardoon.
Yeah, Kershaw did some throwing from flat ground in Arizona yesterday. The verdict?
I feel healthy, so I think now it's just a matter of building back up at a good pace. I don't feel like I've lost much, but still being a starter, you got to build your innings back up and all that. So it's going to take a little bit of time to do that.
He could be thrown off the mound by this weekend. By the way, Dodgers without Kershaw have gone something like 11-2. Alex Wood at 13-1 puts his record up against 13-4 Zach Greinke in Arizona. That's in the 6 o'clock hour. Angels wrap up their homestand with a getaway day noon hour matchup with the Orioles. The Angels have won 5 of their 8 games on this homestand. They'll open up a 4-game set in Seattle tomorrow. Padres will be in Cincinnati tonight. The Atlanta Falcons have made Devonta Freeman the top money-making running back in the NFL. 5 years, $41.25 million. Next sports in less than 30 minutes from the Southern California Chevy Dealer Sports Desk. Randy Cardoon, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A mystery illness afflicting State Department workers in Havana. More on that story coming up at the top of the hour.
Let's take a look at your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in the 5. Switch Jennifer York.
10 west of Fraser, we've had a 3-car crash working on the right shoulder. Just a little bit of slowing there. In fact, the 10 west is looking pretty good. What is still kind of congested is the 60 west from Azusa over towards the 605. And then again, it kind of gets heavy heading into Montebello. Northbound side of the 5 still trying to recover from the southbound 5 problem at Stadium Way with a motorcycle crash. The north 5 is just solid dark red lights from the Eastern Lane interchange all the way up to the 2. Southbound 5 is heavy coming out of the Burbank area from Burbank Boulevard. We've got a reduced speed drive all the way down to Stadium Way. The north 101 and then also the north 5 is still very tough through that 4 level all the way up to about Santa Monica Boulevard. That's the north 101. Southbound 101. Well, let's start with the 170. It's still heavy from Victory into the Cuenca Pass. And then you get a break. And then the south 101 gets heavy around Melrose down to the 4 level. Orange County freeways are looking good. They're looking, in fact, really good. The South 55 is has a drop of slowing from about Ball Road down to the 5. 91 out of Corona looks really good as well. Just a little bit of slowing around the 71. Our next report is at 10:05. I'm Jennifer York with more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Sunny skies today. Temps in the 70s at the beaches, 80s downtown, 90s in the valleys. Downtown right now has 78 degrees.
Residents of Guam getting nervous about saber rattling between North Korea and President Trump. We'll have more on the story coming up in 4 minutes. It is 9:56.
You want to know how bad Southern California traffic is? We've got it covered on the road and in the air.
It's over this Pacific Coast Termite Sky 4.
It has the open shutdown
We'll help you get where you need to be, safe and on time, with traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s and our Eye in the Sky, sponsored by PacificCoastTermite.com for no move-out termite treatment on KNX 1070 News Radio.
Green would like to introduce you to Anna. My name is Ana Isabel Ceballos. Anna is using Y-Green to finance home improvements that save energy and money.
I was able to change all my windows and sliding doors, and the new AC is a huge improvement.
Y-Green makes home improvement financing fast and affordable, with no money down and no payments for up to 17 months. Eligibility is based on home equity, and payments are made through your property taxes.
My main reason to get the windows replaced was security for my daughters.
Y-Green provides financing for projects that increase comfort, safety, and lower energy costs.
Having new windows and a new AC is a blessing. Thank you, Y-Green.
With Y-Green, Anna found a better way to finance windows, doors, and AC. Imagine what you can do. Call Y-Green at 1-866-IMAGINE or visit ygreen.com today. Y-Green, that's energy spelled backwards.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring. Independent research shows 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. By creating the easiest, most effective hiring experience, Indeed helps businesses find great new people every day. Right now, Indeed is giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your credit at Indeed.com/offer. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Guys don't really talk about antiperspirant. Despite that, 91% of Dove Men Plus Care users recommend it. Here's what they said.
It blocks the perspiration, I think is the fancy word.
It's comfortable.
It smells nice. My girl likes the smell. Plus, it's hard.
He's quite masculine. My underarms aren't the worst thing at the gym.
It's kind of like the Hoover Dam from my armpits, I guess.
Dove Men Plus Care antiperspirant. Tough on sweat, not on skin.
Lately, people have been asking, with the stock market at record highs, should I take my gains and get out, or will the market continue to go up? If you're retired or retiring soon, it's critical to be properly positioned to take advantage of gains when possible, while also having a protective strategy in case of a crash. Don't miss the free Money Matters Retirement Seminar in Palos Verdes Saturday, Woodland Hills Thursday, August 17th, or Pasadena, August 19th. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Broadcasting live from the Southern California BMW newsroom. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Find a dealer at SoCalBMW.com.
New moves being made to change the laws on crosswalk signals.
Helping homeless students at LA community colleges.
And police investigating the murder of a woman in her home in Glendale.
A mystery illness hit State Department workers in Havana. Those stories plus traffic every 10 minutes on the 5s in just 3 minutes. After CBS covers the world, it's 10 o'clock.
CBS News. I'm Steve Cate. An FBI agent searched Paul Manafort's Virginia home late last month. The former Trump campaign chairman's been a central figure in the Russia investigation. Legal scholar Jonathan Turley.
A pre-dawn raid often sends a message to a potential target that they're all alone and that perhaps they should start to consider cooperating to a fuller degree.
The New York Times reports the agents were after tax documents and foreign banking records. Manafort has done business in Ukraine. The day after President Trump warned North Korea about American fire and fury, Secretary of State Tillerson dialed it back a bit.
I think Americans should sleep well at night. I have no concerns about this particular rhetoric of the last few days.
North Korea expert Patricia Lewis.
It's perhaps there's somebody with calm logic who is seeking to reassure and ratchet things down. I know that Mr. Fullerton has also been holding out the hands for negotiations. That's exactly what it means at this stage.
But Defense Secretary James Mattis kicked it up a notch. He just warned that North Korea should stop actions that would lead to the end of its regime and the destruction of its people. Now, a CBS News exclusive, concern about the safety of some Americans at diplomatic posts in Cuba.
It's an unusual case in Havana where the State Department says some U.S. government personnel on official duty have reported incidents that have caused a variety of physical symptoms. But a State Department spokesperson hasn't made clear what those incidents have been and what those symptoms are. The U.S. says it asked 2 Cuban officials in the U.S. to leave the country on May 23rd. Although the department says it doesn't have definitive answers on a source or cause of the incidents, it reminded the Cuban government of its obligations under the Vienna Convention to protect diplomats. Steve Dorsey, CBS News, Washington.
Well, Tropical Storm Franklin is adding muscle as it moves closer to land.
Franklin is almost a hurricane. It's a very strong tropical storm, maximum winds near 70 miles per hour, and it's in the southwestern corner of the Gulf of Mexico, getting pretty close to the coast of Mexico.
John Cangelosi of the National Hurricane Center. Well, it weighed about as much as a jumbo jet, the biggest dinosaur ever discovered, found in Argentina.
They lived 100 million years ago, weighed more than 65 tons, and measured 120 feet long. Not just the biggest known dinosaurs, but also the biggest known land animals ever. Named Titan Majorum, after the region, Patagonia, and the Mayo Ranch, where its fossilized bones were found, this titan was a vegetarian and apparently loved company because 6 different specimens have been found there, suggesting these giant dinosaurs may have moved in herds. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 59 points. NASDAQ is down
Well, story at 10:03. Thousands of jaywalking citations have prompted legislation to change state law regarding crosswalk signals.
Right now, it's illegal to step off the curb once the countdown starts.
And what's also challenging that we need to remember is oftentimes vehicles have been turning in front of pedestrians, and pedestrians can't step off the curb at the beginning of the cycle of the pedestrian crossing, so they're already at a disadvantage in the time.
Deborah Murphy is with Los Angeles Walks, a pedestrian advocacy group.
If we've got enough time to cross, we should be able to cross.
She says the countdown should be viewed the same as a yellow light for drivers, a warning that if you can't make it across safely, you stop and wait for the next light. A state bill aims to address those issues and has already passed in the Assembly. Margaret Carrero, KNX 1070 News Radio.
When we think of homeless people, college students don't often jump to mind, but it's such a big problem in the LA Community College District that board members are adamant in finding a solution.
A recent survey found that 1 in 5 of the district's 230,000 students is homeless, and roughly 2/3 don't get enough to eat. That prompted a couple of board members to call for action. Scott Splunkin is on the community college board. He says they must do something. He's introducing a resolution to focus on the issue.
We released the study. Now we need to operationalize. We need to come up with tangible programs at every one of our colleges to help our students.
He says the district cannot go it alone and must rely on resources from the city and county and make sure the students know where those resources are. He's hoping that homeless services will come to the campuses and work with the students to find housing and shelters. John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Police are looking for the killer of a woman in a carport in Glendale. Details in 2 minutes. It's 10:05. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s. Here's Tom Tran. Good morning. We got slowdowns on the southbound side of the 405 leaving the valley. Kind of typical, except for an accident just before the 101. That's got traffic backed up almost to Sherman Way. It's a pretty solid drive all the way down to the west side. Doesn't really clear up until you get past Sunset Boulevard. Good news is Sepulveda Boulevard looks great. If you're trying to get out of Sherman Oaks, I would suggest using Sepulveda Boulevard. Going southbound, and if you have to get back on the 405, do so at sunset. That'll put you on the other side of the problems. Northbound side of the 405, looking at a crash just past the 90. That's got traffic slow back from the 105, busy up towards the Santa Monica Freeway. And speaking of which, the westbound side of the 10 starts to slow out of East LA. Doesn't get any better until you get past Cloverfield. That's partially because it's the 10 freeway and an accident on the 10 westbound over at Bundy, keeping things slow trying to get to Santa Monica. The eastbound side, not too bad. You find a pinch of slowing at Bundy until you get to the 405. Once you get past that, pretty good ride through Mid-City with some minor slowing heading into downtown LA. And then over on the 101 going southbound, we had a crash being reported on the Hollywood Freeway at Sunset Boulevard. A couple vehicles, they are in the fast lane, adding to the congestion. Getting out of Hollywood, it is jammed up pretty solidly. Actually, you still see slowdowns off the 170 portion of the freeway. Way back at Victory, clears up for like 2 exits down through Hollywood, right around Cahuenga, and then jams up again at Sunset Boulevard. Your next report, 10:15. Tom Trey, more traffic reports more often. KNX 1070 News Radio. Sunny skies today, highs in the 70s at the beaches, 80s inland, 90s in the valleys, 100 in the Inland Empire, up to 105 in the high desert. Clear skies tonight, lows in the 60s. Some clouds and fog on tap tomorrow morning, then another sunny day with highs about the same as today. Right now, 73 in downtown LA, 84 in Canoga Park, 79 in Lake Forest. Your exclusive 5-day forecast is coming up at 10:15. It's 10:06. Glendale police are trying to locate the man who shot and killed a woman in the Montrose area overnight. KNX 1070's Pete Demetrio reports live. Detectives think the woman may have been targeted by the killer.
The shooting took place at a carport in a security garage of an apartment building on Montrose Avenue. Glendale Police Sergeant Robert Williams says the victim, 67-year-old Hai Soon Oh, had just pulled into the parking space when the gunman came forward.
Oh was seen following shortly thereafter into that driveway while the gate was still open, and some sort of an altercation took place from what we're gathering, and the shot was fired.
The woman hit by a single bullet died at a nearby hospital. Williams says detectives think the motive was robbery, but he was not able to say what the woman was carrying that was valuable. The killer is only described as a short African-American man who left the garage and got into a car and went south on Montrose. The detectives are looking to see if either apartments or businesses that had video surveillance might have caught an image of the car the man used to leave the site of the killing. Live in Glendale, I'm Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio. Police in Montebello are looking for a gang member suspected of shooting and killing his estranged wife. Police are asking for the public's help in finding 26-year-old Christopher Diaz. Roxana Costa reportedly spent the day with him, and the two
dispute over which agency is in charge of search and rescue calls in Orange County doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. There have been more than 40 meetings between the heads of the Orange County Sheriff's Department and the Orange County Fire Authority, but there's still no agreement as to which agency has jurisdiction over search and rescue calls. The OC Board of Supervisors has agreed to let the Sheriff's Department continue to respond to those calls for the time being, but they want both agencies to come up with a permanent solution. OCFA says it too will handle search and rescues until an agreement is reached. Both sides have indicated that a third-party mediator may be needed to reach a deal. Cooper Rummel, KNX 1070 News Radio. It's 10:08. Hundreds of thousands of kids will be back on the streets and sidewalks of Southern California next Tuesday as the LAUSD and other districts start the new year. Transportation officials are reminding you to be cautious.
I think we have to remember that there are multiple people on the roadways, that they all have their own agendas, and nobody's commute is more important than the other. So specifically remembering that a child's commute to school and setting them on the path to their future is just as important as the adults commute to work.
Margot Ocanius with the LA Department of Transportation tells KNX that speed is a major factor in fatal accidents involving school kids. She says both drivers and children need to avoid being distracted by things like their smartphones. A big project to put new pavement on a 16-mile stretch of the 5 freeway in Santa Clarita is set to get underway. Officials will hold a news conference and groundbreaking this afternoon. Caltrans is setting up temporary lanes and concrete barriers to protect work areas. Officials say the work could affect traffic flow, and they recommend allowing for extra travel time. The entire project is expected to take a couple of years. People who got used to parking on parkways in the city of LA the past 5 years are going to have to put their vehicles someplace else unless they want to risk getting a ticket. City officials plan to resume enforcement against parking between the curb and sidewalk starting this Monday. Critics of parkway parking say it destroys grass, plantings, and curbs. A check of traffic, including a look at what's happening on the 405 coming up at 10:15. It's 10:10.
This town loves a good story, so here goes. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there was no traffic. Then the dark side took over. But now, the KNX Traffic Jedi will see you through.
Be a tough drive for you this morning.
Traffic every 10 minutes on the 5.
More traffic reports more often.
May the KNX 1070 News Radio Force speak with you.
Celebrate August at Hustler Casino with our Lucky 8 Progressive Cash Drawings. Earn entries on qualifying hands every day for our $500 cash drawings every Sunday and Monday starting at 1 p.m. Hustler Casino, where it pays to play. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and this is my Los Angeles partner, Drew Boyles. It's 2 a.m. and you're really here. You've got a business that can't move forward until this crisis is resolved, right? We can't open in the morning unless all this mess is cleaned up. All you have to do is point, sir. That's when the magic happens. That's the problem, right? Whoa! When your business is in crisis because something needs to be hauled away, we're here for you 24/7, 365. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's time to try ZipRecruiter, where 80% of jobs get a qualified candidate in just one day. How? Using powerful technology, ZipRecruiter matches your job to the right candidates fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talk for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talk.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
In about 10 seconds, you're probably going to be thinking, oh no, not
another mortgage refi commercial, but if you are looking to purchase a home or refi the one you have, you should definitely listen closely. Prime Choice Funding streamlines the application and lending process. They simplify what can be a long and tedious process into just a few steps. From getting started to locking in your lowest rate possible to closing your loan up to 30% faster than the industry standard. And instead of spending hours applying for